The Mercedes team has been having a tough season this year. They've fallen far behind the Ferrari and Red Bull teams due to the changes caused by the new regulations that have been implemented this season. And that has got everyone wondering if they can still make it back on par. Although standing in second place currently due to a job well done by both drivers, only time will tell how far they can go due to technical issues they've had so far. Welcome to another episode of Race Pace. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Mercedes has been having a difficult start to Formula One's new era and is currently looking like the third fastest team on the grid at best, having been unable to challenge Ferrari and Red Bull for victories at the opening two rounds in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Throughout preseason testing, Mercedes warned the Formula One world that it was off pace thanks to the troubles with the mechanics of the W13. However, this was something that the team had done regularly throughout testing for years before turning up to the first race and sticking it 1-2 on the grid. The new rules have led to quite a lot of complications for some of the Formula One teams. Mercedes and its W13 Challenger for 2022 have been among those worst affected by the porpoising phenomenon, which has dropped it behind Ferrari and Red Bull. The root cause of Mercedes' struggle in the new F1 season is due to the bouncing that has badly affected the car. As part of the new technical rules, the ground effect has returned to Formula One after decades away. Essentially, you want to run your car as close to the track as possible to create downforce. However, as the Mercedes is picking up downforce at high speed, the ride height of the car decreases. This stops the airflow underneath the car, which causes it to rise slightly. The car then lowers again as it picks up downforce, causing the whole cycle to begin anew. On the issue of the porpoising effect, Toto Wolff said, "I think we are running more drag, or we have the data that we are running more drag than anyone else. We can see that we are losing on the main straight, but not so much on all the other ones. So we need to make an assessment after the first couple of races to see if we are lacking power or deployment before we point fingers at some of the areas." He added, "Realistically, it's about half a second we are missing on a single lap." He went on to explain how, in simple terms, Mercedes can fix that issue. It's easier to shed drag off the car because you simply take a chainsaw and cut the rear wing to bits, and so that's what we will do for Jeddah, said Wolff. He eventually conceded, "I think at the moment we are 5 and 6, third on the road. We are trying to recover ground, but it won't come from one day to the other." Despite Mercedes' preseason fears, the Brackley squad left Bahrain second in the Constructors' Championship behind Ferrari. Hamilton and teammate George Russell could complete an effective damage limitation weekend in third and fourth at the Bahrain season opener after both Red Bulls retired. However, the 7-time world champion has warned that Mercedes can't rely every weekend on issues such as the fuel system vacuum that hits the Red Bull team. The Briton says he is not too stressed by the early Mercedes form. He said, "We have issues and we're fighting to fix them. There's a lot of potential within our car. We're just trying to work as hard as we can to rectify them as quickly as possible. I do not doubt that I've got the best group of people behind me to come up with solutions and fix it and extract performance." Asked to quantify the compromise Mercedes was making by increasing ride height to combat porpoising, Hamilton said of the performance loss, "I've not been given exact numbers, but I know they're large. The cars that are ahead of us, for example, have an incredible amount of low-speed downforce." While Hamilton is confident of a Mercedes turnaround, he moved to play down expectations for Jeddah given it runs back-to-back with Bahrain. He added, "A huge amount of work has gone on in the past 3 days. I'm very proud of my team for just keeping their heads down, staying focused, and churning through the crazy amounts of data that there is. We're aware of the problems we have, but in terms of what's causing it, we're just working through trying to figure that out and how we can rectify it without losing performance. From such a short time between races, there's not a huge difference here this weekend." He was also relishing the opportunity to try new setup routes, saying, "From a driver's perspective, that's exciting when you get in the car just trying something new and hoping that it unlocks a bit of performance." Mercedes Chief Technical Officer James Allison feared worse for the pace deficit of the team's 2022 Formula One car. Allison in Mercedes' post-race debrief video said, "We were caught out by it quite badly, and the porpoising on our car, especially when we put our first race upgrade package on it in the last winter test." The amount of porpoising we saw has been quite extreme, he said. We're starting to get it under control, but at the moment we're getting it under control a little bit by having to throw away the basic performance of our car as a smaller problem to get the bigger problem, the uncontrollable bouncing, slightly under our control. In the coming weeks, and with massive pressure on us to make sure we deliver this quickly, we will find improvements that get on top of the bouncing while not throwing away the underlying performance of the car to do so. We can't afford to wait to deliver solutions. We're hard at work back at the factory to find them, make them, get them to the car, and enjoy the benefits of them. We intend to put these problems right as quickly as possible, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 races, but in any case, we will put it right and will get our car at the front competing to allow us to pursue our dream of championship success. This was all before the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which saw Russell taking 5th and Hamilton taking 10th place. They have since then tried to lessen the porpoising effect on the cars by adding extra sensors to Hamilton's W13. The W13 is thought to be one of the most overweight cars on the grid. It is estimated to be anywhere between 8 to 15 kilograms above the minimum weight limit. To understand the car's behavior, Mercedes chose to reinstall all the sensors they had previously removed as part of a weight-saving measure. Therefore, Lewis Hamilton's car weighed an estimated 1.4 kilograms heavier compared to teammate George Russell's car. Mercedes Motorsports Strategy Director James Vowles spoke on the issue. In a normal year, you wouldn't even consider not having sensors on the car. You would add what you need to make sure you understand what's going on. But obviously, this isn't a normal year, and the car is overweight. Vowles also believes the increased weight on Lewis Hamilton's W13 reportedly didn't have much impact on its relative performance compared to teammate George Russell's car. Lewis did a fantastic job by carrying these extra sensors, but the cost was small. It was a matter of grams between the two, which is what we wanted, he said. And his can't be more right, as Lewis bagged the 4th place at the Australian Grand Prix, with George Russell taking 3rd, which has pushed them farther than Red Bull. However, they are still behind the Ferrari team, which has managed to acquire a sizable amount of points so far. Nonetheless, the jury's still out on who will take the championship title this season. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts to share on this video, you can leave them in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also click on the bell icon so you get notified of new content.